Welcome to another episode of the Misfit Wrestling Podcast. This is your Monday Night Raw review for July the 8th, 2024. I am Matt, the Misfit, your host for the most. If you like what you see here, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, comment down below. Social medias, Pile Driver Pulse on Twitter, Misfit Wrestling Pod on Instagram. You can follow the audio outlets of Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Pandora, and Audible, and right here on youtube.com/@Misfit Wrestling Podcast. A lot of things happen on this show tonight. A very good episode of Monday Night Raw. We saw the return of Rhea Ripley. We also saw what's next for CM Punk. We are looking very likely to have CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre for SummerSlam. Another VHS tape from the Wyatt Sicks, who keeps on targeting Chad Gable, and a lot of more stuff there. We even seen possibly a babyface turn for the Damage Control, who IYO SKY is getting ready to go to Japan for Marigold and her dream match with Utami Hayashishita. So that is a lot of stuff that happened on this show. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the stuff. We're going to even talk about IYO's interview that she had with Tokyo Sports. We're going to talk about that when we get to the 6-woman tag match between Damage Control, the Party Girls, and Lyra Valkyria. Monday Night Raw, the fallout from Money in the Bank. Triple H saw the stupid criticisms online about this show, about Money in the Bank rather, and said, all right. Monday Night Raw from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada took place. We had CM Punk open the show. Punk says it's a great night to be in Ottawa. Says that he has a lot to get off his chest, but he first takes a moment to thank John Cena on his impending retirement from in-ring actions. He says, while he doesn't know what the future holds, he sure hopes to share the ring one more time with Cena. But then says, Cena is here, but he says, other than Cena, he says Cena isn't here, but neither is Drew McIntyre due to suspension. Because kayfabe, Drew McIntyre got suspended for shoving 2 referees and elbowing Adam Pearce in the face on Saturday. He says he throws up to the video I just talked about from McIntyre hijacking the post show for Money in the Bank, attacking the refs and Adam Pearce. Punk says there are consequences to actions and says this isn't the first time McIntyre has messed things up. He says that he is the consequences to McIntyre's actions. Says that McIntyre was able to keep his promise to walk out Money in the Bank as World Heavyweight Champion. Punk says he made his promise to keep that from happening. Unlike McIntyre, he kept his promise. He reveals that he was fined $25,000 for what he did at Money in the Bank, which is weird that he got fined for getting involved in a no disqualification match where there was no rules after Drew McIntyre cashed in, but that's neither here or there. Says McIntyre was fined $50,000 for what he did. Demands Adam Pearce to lift McIntyre's suspension so he can get his hands on him, no matter if it's in a ring, a parking lot, or in a crowd, because he took a little dig at AEW for not having a crowd in where the hard cam side is, where he said, we can fight in the crowd, hard cam style, because there are fans there. Rollins comes out, says he sees CM Punk talking trash on the commentary booth with Michael Cole and Pat McAfee. Punk said, what about Saturday? You were using my government name there, Cole, which I thought was pretty funny. Says he invites Punk into the ring, mocks him by asking if he's afraid he's going to beat him. Punk slowly gets in the ring and reminds him of what happened last time they were in the ring together. He tells Rollins to watch what he says next. Rollins tells Punk that he's always has an excuse. Says that he's simply gaslighting. He says that Punk has never apologized for anything in his life, but he's the dumbest smart dude. He's the dumbest smartest dude he's met in his entire life. He says he was willing to let Punk selfishness slide until Saturday when he cost him the World Heavyweight Championship. He says that being World Heavyweight Champion is the most important thing to him in the wrestling business. Then says now it's time to take something from Punk that he did to him, like he did to him. He promises to keep Punk from taking a pound of flesh from Drew McIntyre. Says that when Punk is cleared, he won't be able to say Drew McIntyre before he puts him back on the shelf. Reminds Punk that actions have consequences, throwing that back into Punk's face, which I loved. Then leaves the head to the back. So this is great. Because I still don't know what they're gonna do with Rollins at SummerSlam, but it is more looking likely that we're gonna have some Punk and Drew in August at Cleveland Brown Stadium for SummerSlam. But this is great. I like, if the plan here is to make Punk, a piece of shit and all that stuff, and the lies that he supposedly is telling everybody, just if you want to throw it back in his face, and that's what Rollins did here. So I thought that segment was effective. It wasn't the last time we saw CM Punk on the show, or Seth Rollins, for that matter. But we hear Adam Pearce talking to Dominic Mysterio as Dominic tries to talk Pearce out of this match that he put him in, and refuses to do that. We found out that the main event is him and Dom and Liv versus Ray and Selena Vega. Then we got Chad Gable, Jey Uso. This match was set up last week due to the whole thing with the Wyatts. So this match really wasn't much to talk about. This was all the setup to the stuff with the Wyatts, because near the end of the match here, the lights started going out here to capture Gable's attention. Then Jey Uso takes advantage, lands a spear for the win. Jey did the yeet and quickly retreated, which I thought was funny. We hear Bray Wyatt's music hit again. Nikki Cross appears creepily, rises up from almost like the depths of hell. Gable backs away, and while he's returning up the ramp, a fan told Gable, look behind you. He looked behind him and fell over. Oh my God, that was funny. That was good. I said, just keep bringing that guy to every show just to fuck with Chad Gable during this stuff. That would be funny. But then Nikki Cross looks over to Michael Cole. She was able to finish her story by finally giving Pat McAfee, who returned tonight, the package that of another videotape, which we'll get to in just a little bit, because that videotape was phenomenal stuff. Because we have Jackie Redmond chatting with Sheamus about his 15th anniversary being in WWE. Bronson Reed interrupts and says everyone should be talking about Bronson Reed instead of Sheamus. We find out that Pete Dunne is going to wrestle Bronson Reed when we come back here. Obviously, I talked about the Wyatt Sicks videotape that was handed to them. Great showing to see Pete Dunne. Anytime I get to see Pete Dunne on television, which is good stuff here. But Tsunami for the win on Pete Dunne. Wasn't a squash match. Pete Dunne did get some offense, and we got a little shades of heel Pete Dunne in there, which I thought was pretty good here. After the match, Reed drags Dunne over to the corner. Looks like land another Tsunami splash. Sheamus comes out to lend a helping hand to Dunne. he begins brawling with Reed. Gunn rocks Reed with a running knee. Sheamus lands the bro kick onto Bronson Reed. Looks to hug Dunn, but Dunn's like, nope. Walks away. So I don't know. What because apparently he seems to be still angry about what happened with the stuff with the Brawling Brutes. So because now Rich Holland's over on NXT with the Chase U and all that stuff. So we'll see what they're here. So I mentioned Seth Rollins earlier. He approaches Damian Priest to talk. He tells Priest that it's better to be lucky than to be good. He says that Priest was lucky on Saturday, but he was also good. He says Priest has kept his word and didn't involve the Judgment Day in the World Heavyweight Championship match on Saturday, and says that he'll keep his word and never challenge for his title again as long as it's the champion. Tells Priest that he has to be better at SummerSlam to defeat Gunther. Priest tells Rollins that he'll let him challenge again because he basically let's forget about that stipulation here. So Rollins walks away. Damian Priest gets a phone call and asks the person on the other end, where are they at? And I'm like, oh yeah, we're getting there. Oh yeah, I'm like, oh, Dominic's fucked. That's what happened here. Because we had Damian saying, but we'll get to that. Sami Zayn came out, talk about some stuff here. Ooh, excuse me. Sami Zayn says Bron Breakker brought everything into their Intercontinental Championship match on Saturday. He made the crucial mistake of thinking he was the underdog in the match. And all that stuff here. He kept going on about the match here, saying the differences between knocking him down and keeping him down. Breaker's music hits here. We think Breaker's gonna be like, better man one or not, but nope. Bron Breakker spirits the living shit out of Sami Zayn, beats the shit out of him here. Ilja Dragunov then comes to save to check on Zayn, and we go to the doctor's area, and Ilja demands a match with Bron Breakker, and Adam Pearce is like, yep, let's do that. So they're setting up something for the three of these guys in the Intercontinental Championship scene, possibly for SummerSlam. I'm looking forward to that. The Judgment Day defeated Awesome Truth and Braun Strowman. This was basically to tease more of the split between Awesome Truth. That's fine by me. Coup de grace for the win on our Truth, and Judgment Day get the win there. So we go to the videotape that was given to Michael called Pat McAfee. On it is another Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy promo. He wants to learn about the rest of the Wyatts. Says it's time to set them free. He asks Uncle Howdy if he thinks that him and the rest of the Wyatts are sick. Uncle Howdy says he does. Bo Dallas then says that if that's the case, then sick we will be. Which I thought was phenomenal stuff. And then we go over to Chad Gable running up to Adam Pearce saying, basically, are you going to do something about the Wyatt Sicks while they're standing outside of Adam Pearce's office? He says he's not going. He says he's trying. What do you want me to do about it? Gable says he's going to deal with it in his own way, whatever that means. Because later, I don't remember which segment it was. I don't remember who they were talking to. I think it was the new group of Sonya Deville, Shayna, and Zoe Stark. In the background, we saw Chad Gable, the Creeds, and Ivy Nile talking to each other, possibly to see what they're going to do about the Wyatts here. Adam Pearce opens the door to his office, and who does he see sitting on a chair is one Bo Dallas looking up at him, smiling. And I said, oh shit, he heard everything that dude had to say. Chad Gable is one fucked motherfucker. He's fucked. He's screwed. We got Ilja Dragunov, Bron Breakker. This was a lot of fun here. Near the end of the match here, Bron Breakker sends Ilja Dragunov crashing off onto the top turnbuckle before Dragunov looks to fly off the top rope. Breakker moves out of the way, clotheslines Dragunov out of the ring, follows him out there, connects him with a jumping knee onto Breakker. Does Ilja? He charges at Breakker, but Breakker grabs the office chair and just tosses it at him, causing a disqualification. So Ilja Dragunov wins by a disqualification. They kind of he tried to sell, I guess, he was shaking and stuff. It was very interesting. I mean, I don't think he's actually hurt. I think he's just selling. After the match, Breakker trying to beat the shit out of Ilja. Sami Zayn runs down to the ring, clotheslines Breakker out of the ring as officials try to separate the pair. Breakker pulls Sami out of the ring and sends him crashing into the ring post, then tosses him over the announce desk. And again, good stuff here. Might be setting up maybe a three-way for the Intercontinental Championship. We'll see. At first, for some reason, I thought Ludwig Kaiser was walking out there earlier, but no, it was Ilja Dragunov here. We see a damage control video. They're basically setting up, trying to basically. So we've had enough of losing and all this shit that we went through here. So damage control defeated. Yes, they got a win, a clean win over Katana Chance, Caden Carter, and Lyra Valkyria. IYO SKY delivers the over the moonsault on Caden Carter to get the win. So this whole thing accomplished a few things. It kept Lyra Valkyria looking strong without having taken a pinfall. It reestablished damage control as possibly as a threat. And even though they were teasing maybe a split for weeks now, IYO gets the win because she's getting the big match at Marigold, which for some reason they didn't promote, which I thought was very odd. Which I'm going to talk about IYO SKY here. Let's talk about some of the stuff that she went on. She had a interview with Tokyo Sports. One of the things she said during her interview was asked about her return to Japan, being with Marigold and not WWE. She said, "I feel like it feels like a long-awaited dream. I thought the first match I would have in Japan would be a WWE show in Japan. So I didn't think that my first triumphant return match after moving to the United States would be a show other than WWE. I didn't think that I would appear in any shows other than WWE as long as I was with WWE. So I was surprised. It feels like fate and timing just happened to coincide because now Triple H is involved. He is open to all these things here because AJ Styles is going to wrestle in Pro Wrestling Noah this weekend as well too. So IYO SKY also mentioned when she found out about the match with Utami. I've basically the same about around the same time I found out about it. Because I heard from a little birdie who told me that this match was happening. And I was excited when I heard it. IYO says that she didn't say it here. There was no quote here, but she said, I thought I would be able to show something interesting. This was at a time when I was already been confirmed to appear in WWE's Japan tour because they did announce that. They did also, by the way, Logan Paul is not going to be on that tour for obvious reasons. Asuka's not going to be on that because she is injured, and I think Akira Tozawa may have been pulled from that one too. As of right now, it's only Io, Nakamura, and Kairi Sane. So, yeah, I believe so. They might throw in Mako Satomura. Who knows? But she said she goes on the computer to say, but I think the biggest thing that was they invited me to be a main character. I was happy. I was honestly happy to see that enthusiasm. So here's what she said about the match when she found out about it. She said Rossi offered the match during WrestleMania 40. My biggest impression was that it was a promotion created by Ogawa-san. I guess that's it. Ogawa was at WrestleMania, and at the time he said to me, "I'm going to do a Ryogoku Sumo Hall show, and so I would like to make an offer to you." And that's when he offered the match with Utami Hayashishita. Io went on to talk about Utami wanting to be a pro wrestler because of Io. She says, I didn't really hear much about people wanting to become a pro wrestler because they admire me. When I was in Stardom, there was a lot of girls who were like, I want to be like Mayu Iwatani. And I think there was a lot of Kairi Sane as well. I know it sounds strange for me to say it myself, but I think I stood out among the Japanese women at the time. And yet there weren't many of them. She laughs. That's why it feels very special for Utami. There's a lot of stuff here. So Io, on what she said when Utami said that she wanted to face Io before she went to the United States. This is before Io left Stardom, because I believe while Io was in Stardom, I believe Utami was also still in Stardom when she was, I believe, a young cat. Io says, I can't remember if she said this directly to me or through someone around me, but I remember hearing her say, I admire you. I admire you, so I wanted to. I admired you, so I wanted to fight you before you go to the United States. I remember answering that at the time. It's better for you, and I like this line here. This is a great quote here from Io. She says, "It's better for you. It's better for your dreams not to become true easily, because that's what makes them dreams." Which is a great quote, by the way. I didn't mean to say that I'm not easy, but rather that I think things you gain through hard work will stay with you more. If I had stayed in Stardom at that time, that opportunity might have come sooner. But if you get it easily there, I think there's a part of you that gets burned out. I've been running for 17 years now, but I had dreams of being the best in the world. She is one of the best in the world. And the WWE and I was determined to put down roots in the United States and do my best. These words were meant to put pressure on me, so I was moving to the United States. See if there's any more quotes from Io Shirai. But yeah, basically, Io is very, very excited to go over to the United States go over to Japan to do her match with Tommy and Marigold, which I'm very excited for on Saturday night. I will be covering that show this weekend, so keep an eye out for the first solo review for Marigold Summer Destiny show. So that should be a lot of fun. After the match, though, Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark, and the returning Sonya Deville, who we saw a few weeks ago, appear in blindside Damage Control in the ring. They beat down Damage Control. Baszler and Deville hold Sky in as Stark lands a super kick. She is upset, but the Michinoku driver that Io hit on Story at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, which is still a gnarly spot here. She tosses her over to Baszler, where Baszler lands a jumping knee on her. Then Develop connects with the Devil's Advocate. It feels like, now I could be wrong here, but it feels like that they're turning Damage Control babyface. Now, for weeks, they've been teasing a split for Damage Control, because they've been doing that for months now. But if they're turning Damage Control babyface, I personally am okay with that. It's a lot of people do not want to boo Io and Kairi, even Dakota. So a babyface Damage Control, I like the idea. You rarely don't see a babyface faction full of a lot of mostly of Japanese women. Io's never been on babyface on the main roster, right? She's been a babyface in NXT, but Kairi when she came up was a babyface for like a couple months, and then they turned her heel. She embraced the heel role, but she was beloved by the fans, so it was kind of hard for people to boo her. Same with Asuka. You can turn Asuka heel all you want. People just love that woman. Again, wishing speedy recovery to Asuka. Hope she comes back soon. She probably won't, though. She'll be out for. We probably won't see Asuka until the Royal Rumble. So there's that. But if a babyface run for Damage Control is being set up, I'm okay with that. Because why not? Give people a taste of what babyface Io is like on the main roster. We've seen what babyface Kairi is like. We haven't even seen Dakota Kai hasn't really been a babyface realistically since 2019, when like a few minutes before she turned on Tegan Nox in the War Games match. So if that's the plan, I'm okay with it. So there's that. Main event time. Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio defeated Zelina Vega and Rey Mysterio. Dominic finally got a pinfall over his dad, his deadbeat dad. But the match is not really what people want to talk about. So we're going to talk about the ending segment here, the ending part of this here. So Dominic and Rey tag back in and whatnot here. So Liv Morgan gets hit with the 619 and whatnot, and all that stuff here. Liv Morgan slides a chair into the ring as Rey and Dominic teeter on the top rope, but referee disposes of it. And while he's looking away, Liv trips Rey Mysterio, opening the door for Dominic to deliver a frog splash and for the win. But again, no one wants to talk about the match because people want to talk about what happened after the match. After the match, we'll get to her. Liv Morgan hugs Dominic Mysterio. Dominic pushes her off. The two then stare, and they almost about to get it on in the middle of the ring, and then Rhea Bloody Ripley's music hits. That crowd went absolutely fucking ballistic. Oh my God. That crowd had a bigger reaction than Andrade had at Money in the Bank. Holy shit. She comes out, storms to the ring. Liv Morgan retreats like a fucking coward. Slides in the ring, confronts Dominic. I don't know what she said to her or what she said to him. But Dominic just hug Rhea and Rhea's like, get the fuck out of here. She starts storming off the ring. Dominic is trying to defend himself. It's like, I've been trying for weeks to stop it and whatnot. So the show goes off the air. Rhea Ripley is back. Better than ever. I'm excited to see Rhea Bloody Ripley back. I'm happy that Rhea Ripley's back. Because I missed Rhea Ripley. A lot of people missed Rhea Ripley. And it does look like now on to SummerSlam, it looks like it's going to be Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan for the Women's World Championship. And man, I tell you what, I am excited. I am pumped. This show, I thought this show was fantastic. Fantastic is maybe a little too much, but I thought it was an excellent episode of Raw. Whatever it is Triple H has been doing with Raw since he took over, it has been incredible. Like each week, he keeps getting better. It's amazing what a show will do when you don't have a 70-year-old senile old domestic piece of shit of an old fuck around changing shit and whatnot. We got a show that the fact that I'm excited for Raw every Monday night now, which is something I haven't said in quite a long time, is insane. Kudos to Triple H. Kudos to WWE. I don't know who's actually the head. Let's see who the head writer of Raw is right now. WWE roster. We know the head writer for SmackDown is right now, but let's see who is the head writer for Raw. So the lead writer of Raw is named Jonathan Beckstrom. So he is doing the head writing for stuff. John S. I'm not even going to pronounce his last name. Is doing the head stuff for SmackDown, and Johnny Russo, not related to Vince Russo, is doing the stuff for NXT. So all three shows right now are killing it with their writers involved here. So Shawn Michaels cooked with a phenomenal show this weekend. Triple H had a great Money in the Bank and an even better Monday Night Raw. Looking forward to see what NXT does this week. Will we get Julia? We'll find out. We'll find that out tomorrow. We'll also find out whether or not they'll do something. We'll see more of Gio Hendry, obviously. And what's next with the Bloodline? We'll see. But SummerSlam's looking good. And I'm just excited. I'm excited to see what everything is going to happen here. But other than that, let me know what you guys thought about Monday Night Raw. What you thought about the weekend that was Money in the Bank / Heat Wave in the comment section down below. Again, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, youtube.com/Misfit Wrestling Podcast. And again, the links to the social medias and the other audio platform areas will be in the description. As always, I'm Matt the Misfit. This is the Misfit Wrestling Podcast. I will see you guys back here, hopefully for SmackDown this week. But if something big happens on NXT, I will probably talk about it tomorrow. We'll see. Until then, we're out.